been allowed to expire again. So that was the one we were watching coming out of Toombs, again, which we said expired at 5:15. That's over, but there's still that severe thunderstorm warning. And now as the storm moves into parts of the Tattnall County area. So the other one down to the south right here, which is still producing a tornado warning through 5:30, I believe, and it's crossing over 221. So let's put a tracker on here and show you areas which we're going to be concerned about watching right now, and it's going to be the areas closer towards US 1. So this is where we got some of the tightest rotation, and we'll take it out kind of getting over towards the Baxley area, it looks like. See if there's any cities in there. It's not very populated, it looks like, in that area, so we're not picking up any cities in that region, but it's going to be getting south of the Baxley area along US 1 and down into where US 1 and US 23 kind of split off south of 341 into the Baxley area. So that's the area which we have the warning right now. And again, thankfully, it doesn't show up as too many cities, so not many people hopefully in the path of where that storm is. Let's get you back over to the kind of reset things right now and see what the warnings are. Again, Andrew said that last one for Toombs County had expired, so we'll show you what we have for current alerts out there right now. And we have that tornado watch continuing for our entire area going through the 8 o'clock hour. That's what we have right there, tornado watch through 8 o'clock. This is the warning which has been allowed to expire, but the storm which prompted that warning has now moved into, there it goes, it just went away, into Tattnall County and southern areas of the Evans County area. That has a severe thunderstorm warning going through. Let's see if we can prompt that up here. Is it going to prompt it up? There it is, until 5:45. So that'll contain some gusty winds, a lot of lightning and some heavy rain, and maybe even some small hail embedded in that storm as well. There are the tornado warnings which we have, and this is the reason that we're basically still on air right now, because of these warnings going through 5:30 for the Bacon and southern areas of Appling County region, and that still had a little bit of rotation in there. So that's the alerts. That's what we're looking at right now as far as any of the warnings. Let's get you back over to the radar to show you where we have the storms right now. And as you can see, again, this is the warnings. We got two storms we're watching, one moving over towards Douglas, the other one moving into southern areas of Jeff Davis County. Those are the tornadic activities, so we'll go ahead and zoom on into those areas and really focus on that region as those storms continue to work eastward. Areas, people living in Alma and in Baxley need to continue to monitor these storms as they'll be moving closer to your area shortly. So there it is. We're zoomed on in or over the Chatterton region, about to move into the Nichols area, it looks like. And here's West Green. You're okay right now as it's now moving to the east of US 221 in that area. There's Denton coming out of Jeff Davis County with that other storm, which appears a little bit weaker, thankfully. This is the stronger storm, it looks like right now, right over the Chatterton area. We'll put a velocity tracker on that one and see what it's looking like, and see where we can find the rotation in that region as well. And yeah, there it is, right over the Chatterton region where the green and the reds are coming together right now. The radar beam is coming out of the Valdosta radar site, and right now anything in the green is showing winds which are going towards the radar, and the red is showing winds which are going away from the radar. So whenever you have that tight area where the greens and the reds are right next to each other, when we're looking at the velocity, that is showing some type of rotation. The tighter the area is, the smaller the reds and the greens are, that means a tighter, compact rotation, and that could be producing the tornado. That is what's prompted the warning right now. So let's go ahead and put a tracker on that and kind of track that out for you as it continues to work quickly out towards the east. So again, even though you might not be under a warning right now, these storms are racing in from the west. So Alma, you're going to be under the gun, it looks like here, by about 5:41 as the storm continues to get closer to your area. Getting into the Geisy area by 5:34, Rockingham area by 5:46, the New Lacey area, if it holds together, at 5:51. So you're watching this right now. Tornado warnings are in effect for this area right here, right over the Chatterton region. That is prompting the warning right now, but will continue to make its way out towards the east. So areas, again, over near Alma need to continue to watch that. Let's go ahead and zoom on in, see if we can get a little bit further down, closer to street level. If there's any other areas we can kind of give you a reference of what we're looking at right now. And here is Georgia 32. It's just north of Georgia 32. Here's the Chatterton region. Not picking up a lot of areas over here as far as any streets. You can see that as you get closer towards the Nichols area, picking up some streets. So that's good news. Hopefully a very unpopulated area. As you can see, it's now passing just to the north and west of the Saginaw area along Georgia 32. So that's good news as far as with this system. Not a lot of activity as far as homes in that area, it looks like, as the storm continues to make its way out towards the east. So those are the areas we're continuing to watch. This area right here is showing a little bit impressive. Let's see if we can zoom on into that region. That was the one that had the severe thunderstorm warning right now in for parts of Tatnall County. Let's see, come on, zoom on. All right, and that will allow us to zoom in hopefully right here. No, we're zooming out. Let's try again, and we'll try to zoom on in. And we're zooming way out apparently, but we don't want to do that. We want to zoom in. Let's see if we can get that real close. Just a little zoom in right here. And it'll take its time to zoom on in, hopefully. Let's see, live TV, folks. Let's zoom on in one more time and see if it can zoom on in. There we go. And here's Tatnall County. It's zooming on in. We need to move it up just a little bit more. But that's showing a little bit better of some type of rotation. Still very broad, meaning, again, we're not seeing a lot of the reds, the deeper reds next to the deeper greens, but there is a little bit of some broad rotation in here. This is what's prompted the severe thunderstorm warning right over south of Reidsville, right along Georgia 121, and this is continuing to work its way, getting closer to the Glenville area. So we'll put a track on this for you as it continues to make its way quickly out towards the east-northeast, and this is that storm. So if you're watching even over in Pembroke, this storm is going to be moving into your area as we continue to see it getting into the Jenny area by about 5:35. Pembroke getting into your area by about 6:04, and the Trinity by about 6:10. Again, that is severe thunderstorm warning, which means we are looking at winds which are of the potential to gust over 60 miles per hour, and we can see some hail embedded in there as well. Let's see if we can find any hail in there and see which storms are producing the best chance for seeing some of the hail. We put the hail tracker on there, and there, this is, you can see that right over the Daniels area south of Reidsville. They're probably seeing some good hail associated with that, and I believe the storms out to our south near the Douglas area also were probably producing some good hail makers as well. Let's get it into the home button here, and that'll show us where we have the storms. Again, not as impressive over near the Baxley area as far as any hail is concerned, but what's moving in, eventually getting into the area, has been producing some hail. The storm, which is moving out of Beaufort, also had some hail as well. And we also had the one, let's see if we can hide that, I believe the one up in Allendale had some hail up associated with that as well. So it's been an active afternoon. We'll get you set again as far as all the warnings we have and the alerts. We still have that tornado watch going through the 11 p.m. hour for our entire viewing area. The warnings which we have right now are here into severe thunderstorm warnings for the Allendale region. Look at the tornado warning right now heading up towards the Burke County region, just west of our viewing area. That's up towards the Augusta region. We also have those tornado warnings right now going into the Baxley area, eventually getting into the Baxley area. That is going to continue through 5:30, I believe. The tornado watch goes through the 11 o'clock hour, but that tornado warning should be going through 5:30, as we can see right there. So if you're wondering what's going on out here, we're staying on air because we have a tornado warning. We're going to make sure that you are kept up to date on any warnings which are in our viewing area and could potentially be impacting any one of our viewers out there. So that's why we're not in regular programming as of right now. There's a look at the warnings. Let's show you the radar. We'll go back over to that. So we want to make sure that you are aware who's seeing the rain now and who is going to see the rain and storms. So there's the storms which are prompting the tornado warnings south of Baxley, now east of the Douglas area, getting closer to the Alma region. And we also have the stronger thunderstorms right over the Reidsville area, about to move into the Claxton region, it looks like, and even heading up towards the Pembroke region as well. Those are the main storms we're watching, but again, the areas right behind our viewing region have more storms, which will continue to race to the region. So it's going to be an active evening out here. Let's get you back over to those areas which we're watching right now as we zoom on into those regions where we have their tornado warnings, because this is the area we're still concerned about right now. As we continue to zoom on in, it's getting closer to the Baxley area. So if you're watching now in Baxley, anywhere along southwest of Baxley, especially to the right over the US 23 area, south of Graham, it looks like. That's where we're seeing the heaviest rain, strongest winds, probably seeing some hail embedded in there as well as this continues to make its way towards Baxley and the Surrency area. Let's go ahead and put a track on that and time it out for you. So if you're watching here over in Baxley and the Surrency area, this storm is going to be getting closer to your area. It might pass just on the south side of the Baxley region, but if you're living anywhere south of the 341, that's the area we've got to be watching. But Baxley 536, Surrency getting in there by about 549, and into the Brentwood area by about 558 if it holds together. This storm has a history of producing a lot of gusty winds, and it did have a tornado warning associated with it, but right now it is a little bit weaker, and it is a severe thunderstorm warning with a lot of lightning associated with it as well. Let's get you back over to the other one, further down to the south right now. And this is moving to the south of, actually to the east of the Douglas area, right over the Nichols region, kind of just north of Nichols right here. That one is more impressive right now as it continues to make its way towards the east. It looks like it's going to be continuing to get closer towards the Gussie area, and then this one might even clip northern areas of the Alma region. So as we put a tracker on that, if you're watching along US 1 into the Rockingham area, it says by about 542, and it looks like just north of the Alma region, probably getting closer to that 5:30 hour. Tornado warning is in effect through 5:30 for these areas. We'll put on the velocity right now to show you where we do have the tightest couplet area, which the storms which are producing these warnings, what we're looking at right now. And this is the radar, which shows the velocity, or actually shows the reflectivity, which shows where we have the rain. Now we're looking at the velocity, which shows us the winds inside the storm. And that area right there is still showing some rotation just north of the Nichols area. So again, if you're watching in West Green, you're okay. Lehigh, you're okay for right now. The Chatterton area, it's already moving out to your northeast. You're okay as well. But as the storm works its way eastward, watch out over towards the Gussie area, I think that's how you pronounce that. Here's Alma. Looks like it's going to be getting close to your region by about 5:30, 5:35-ish, then up towards US 1, south of Baxley it looks like. But Baxley, you're concerned about this area, which has broad rotation and another tornado warning going through that 5:30 hour. So it's mainly our southern areas right now, Baxley into the Alma area, Nichols region, which are under the gun for seeing any type of rotation in any of these storms as of right now. We've been pretty quiet here along the coastal regions, but this whole area is continuing to make its way into the region. So this is why we're going to be continuing to monitor this area very closely, and that's why we're staying with you right here on WTOC. As we put this into motion over the last hour, we can see how quickly these storms have been making their way in from the west. So they're just now getting into the I-95 area. You're seeing some rain showers. Not really seeing a lot of thunderstorms, not really seeing the lightning along the I-95 area as of right now, with the exception had a little bit of that in Glenn County. But this area is starting to fill in right now with a lot of the thunderstorms. And you can see we have another tornado warning, which is just out of our viewing area. That looks like it's going to pass north of our region, get up towards the Allendale region. So if you got folks who live up in that region, make sure that you are telling them to be aware of that activity. Let's go back over here, and I want to show you a larger view. Hopefully we can get in to a larger view of the radar and show you the line moving in. Already moved through the Atlanta area, but this is the line we're watching. It's getting into Macon right now, and it's going to be a few more hours before that line continues to make its way through our region. So that's why the tornado watch, meaning conditions or the atmospheric conditions are favorable for seeing some of these storms containing some rotation. That is going to go through about that 11 p.m. hour until this line makes its way off the coast. So it's going to be a pretty active evening out there. We have that line of storms moving through Macon, getting down to the Albany area and down now south, thankfully, of the Columbus region. But it's along the I-75 area in southwestern Georgia, which is under their gun right now. As the storms continue to work their way in to our area, we're probably going to see a few more of these warnings starting to pop up. So we want you to be aware of that, have your alerts turned on. Andrew Gorton and I did a video which we posted, a live Facebook Live, and showed you exactly how to turn on your First Alert weather alerts in the First Alert weather app. If you don't have the First Alert weather app and you can't download it, hopefully you've got a No Weather Radio, at least some way to go ahead and get that weather information. So let's go and show you the alerts, again, what we have out there right now as we kind of reset everything over here And this is going to show us that we have tornado watch going through the 8 o'clock hour. That's that light red colored shading, pretty much our entire viewing area, going through 11 p.m., I should say, for our entire viewing area. That's the tornado watch going through 11 p.m. And I'll go ahead and pop that up for you so you can actually see it, visualize it as I'm saying it actually. Hopefully it will pop up on there. It should pop up. And again, as far as the warnings are concerned, there's the tornado watch going through the 11 o'clock hour. Computer's acting a little bit slow right here. The severe thunderstorm watch, which is good news for Hampton County, has been allowed to expire. That's definitely some good news, but we still have that tornado warning just north of Jenkins County right now, up towards the Burke County area. That's going to head up towards Allendale. So if you have friends who live up in that area, you need to watch that one closely. And we still have these 2 tornado warnings getting down to near the Nichols area. That is going through 5:30, I believe. We have that tornado watch going through 5:30 for that area. As it gets closer to the Alma and even to the Baxley area, those are the regions which we're going to be keeping our eyes on here. So let's go ahead and put the radar on and kind of track out those showers for you, keeping you updated on those rain showers. So this is the area that we're watching. We're getting a lot of the storms building on into the area. The area which we're really concerned about as far as any warnings out there right now is down in the Baxley area. It's south of the Altamaha River right now. The strongest thunderstorms are getting closer to the Baxley area, and it's really going to be the potential for seeing some type of rotation in these storms, which is prompting the tornado warnings. And we can see that as we turn on the velocity right there. Even that doesn't have a warning associated with it, this area right here, I can tell you right now in northern areas of Tattnall County is looking pretty impressive right here. That's going to have some strong gusty winds. Even though we don't have a warning as far as any tornadic activity, it will continue to work its way out towards the east and here. We have a new crawl coming along here with tornado warning going through 5:45. As we can see for the Bacon County area, that's for these storms down to the south. So let's go ahead and zoom into these areas. I put a cone on there. We don't want to put a cone. Let's back out here, and we're going to zoom on into those areas right now. So as we zoom on in, and that, again, is going through 5:45. So there's 2 storms, actually, which are prompting the warnings. There's 2 different tornado warnings. The one here near the Nichols area goes through 5:45. That's going to be getting into the Alma area. That goes through 5:45. And the other one here, which is kind of just north of now kind of moving into the US 23 and US 1 area south of Baxley, that has that warning which is going through that 5:30 hour. I'm going to send it over to meteorologist Andrew Gordon right now, who's got some latest information for you coming up over here in the First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, so what we're looking at now is that storm that was moving out of Coffee County is really the southern cell that we've been talking about here for the last little while. Well, they have actually extended the tornado warning on that all the way until 6:15, and they've included some more communities in that. So right over the Alma area right now, south of Baxley is where it looks like the tornado signature on this is at and where it will stay, south of Baxley, but it's going to go toward the Brentwood area, and eventually Jessup, you guys are actually included in this too. So I want you to listen up. If you live in these counties, that's going to be East Central Coffee, North Central Pierce County, as well as Bacon County, Wayne County, and Appling County. So a handful of counties here in the viewing area that are now potentially going to see this cell, and it's rather small, but it is trekking off toward the east here at 50 miles an hour. So it has picked up some speed on that as well. So let me zoom in here, show you the track on this. I want you guys to make sure that you're paying attention to this one because this is a fast mover. I don't want it to sneak up on you. So this is where the signature would be on there, and we're going to bring it all the way out to see when it would actually make it over to the Jessup area if it held together. And this is what we're looking at here with this new tornado warning that goes until 6:15. Well, if it held together, it wouldn't make it to Jessup until right when that warning was to expire. But right now, it's forecasted there for 6:16, Rockingham 5:34, Odom at 6:07. Looks like there's not too many big communities in this area, which of course is good news, but we got to give the info out to the people that are going to be impacted as well, right? So 121 south of Surrency. Surrency, I'd go ahead and just say, hey, take cover because it is very close to you guys there. But up next, it's going to be the Rockingham area, 3215, naming off some roads here, 121 and 203. Odom, if you have friends, family that live in any of these communities, definitely want to make sure that they are taking a shelter or they are about to as this storm gets a little bit closer to us. This is something that we're going to be dealing with here for the next hour or so. So the next thing that we can look at would be the velocity within this storm. Now, we're not going to have the best view of velocity because it's kind of on the outskirts of different radars that we can pick from, but you can see this general kind of a turn of the storm right here moving toward the Alma area. I think it actually is a little behind on there as well. So Alma, that's where that broad rotation would be. The National Weather Service, looking at their info coming out of the Jacksonville office right now, saying that they are going to continue with that tornado warning as well. So it's a strong enough signature for them to hold on to this, but there has not been damage reported yet, which is good news, but we're still looking at this threat as we go through the next 45 minutes or so. So this is something that we're going to be following here until there are no more warnings in the WTOC viewing area. And notice, you can tell that these warnings are kind of getting a little bit of a different shape on them as well. And what happens is the faster they move, the bigger or wider the warnings will be, because this warning, it extends quite a bit of ways here because it's moving 50 miles an hour, so it's a wider warning, and it's going to include more people there horizontally. So just going to give you another rundown here. Maybe you're just joining in here. Maybe your phones just went off. This is what we're looking at here for this tornado warning until 6:15. We've got to get this one on social for you guys as well. So if you guys are on Facebook and Twitter, you'll have this here pretty soon. I did. All right, Dave got it. He's under control. So what we're looking at here, this is capable of producing up to 2-inch in diameter hail, in addition to the potential for the tornado that's in there, the lightning, the heavy rain, very big downpours with these as well. So let's see, the National Weather Service still, they're keeping a close eye on this. It's a quick mover. Some of these storms moving even faster than 50 here this evening. Some of the communities that we're looking at here would be Alma, there, Brentwood, even Jessup. You guys need to make sure that you guys are taking care of business there. But the big thing with this, other than the fact that it's got the large hail in it, would be, of course, the tornado. We'll go ahead and get another tracker going for you guys here on this and show you the hail that could potentially be with this as well. So where you see these blues, that's where it could be over an inch of hail. That goes right over Alma. It's going toward Brentwood as well. So, north of Glenville, a different severe thunderstorm, not tornadic, producing hail as well. So right now, just speaking hail-wise, there are a few storms right now that are producing hail across even the low country, a little further off to the north. They're closer to Charleston. There's a hail maker there. But let's get back to what's going on, and that would be those warnings. You can see right now there's really only one that we're super concerned with in the WTOC viewing area. And things aren't really slowing down here. We're just kind of zoning in on where we're focusing the attention and getting folks to make sure that they're going to be safe. So the red shaded polygon right here is the one that goes until 6:15. Now, Baxley, you guys are going to be very close to this. And if you notice, this one just popped up. That's a new tornado warning. They had allowed that one to expire. Now we're popping back up on it. Like if you were paying attention earlier, I was telling you guys how these severe thunderstorms, they kind of cycle through. And it looks like that's what's happening here right now. So we're going to get you the info on this new tornado warning as well. That is I guess it just includes Hazelhurst right now. This is going to be for Coffee, Appling, and Jeff Davis County, as well as the other one goes until 6:15. So right now we have two different tornado warnings in the viewing area, both going until 6:15 right now. It was really located near Fitzgerald, which is Ben Hill County. It's not even in the viewing area, and this one not moving quite as fast at 40 miles an hour. Let's start tracking some of this for you guys so you can see what we're talking about, not just look at these big old boxes going on here. So this storm is not even over toward Appling County yet, but it's in Ben Hill. It's going to move this way. So Hazelhurst, you guys need to make sure you're taking cover again here very quickly. This storm that I was just spending some time talking about is this one here that is just over the northern part of Alma, and it's moving off to the east at 50 miles an hour. Will include Surrency. Baxley, you guys are getting quite the storm. It's just not tornadic at the moment. But this storm here, I'm going to put a little bit of a loop on here of the past, say, 30 minutes so you guys can see the general direction. Notice how it's a quick mover and it is spreading out on the front end of it. That could actually cause it to weaken a little bit. Hoping so, because right now it is still a pretty strong storm. Now, can't get a very good view of what's going on velocity-wise with this, but I'm going to give it a go anyways. This is pretty far out on the reach of one of our radars that we're looking at, and it looks like it's more of a broader rotation right now, which is good news. But with the hail threat in there and the rotation that we still see, of course, likely continuing with that tornado warning here for a little while. a little further off toward, let's see, it's loading up on us, going a little slow for us. But 6:15 is now the time in which we need to be taking shelter. And of course, you guys know by now, you want to go into the lowest level of your home, nowhere with those outer walls or windows, and also pillows, blankets, helmets. If you got the kids with you, if they play baseball, football, softball, those helmets are good to have in your safe room as well. I'm going to toss it back over to Dave here while I gather up a little bit more information.
Good advice there. Also good advice here while we still have power. What you want to do is go ahead and make sure all your electronics are charged up at this time, because these are very big wind makers. I mean, gusting over 60 miles per hour, producing that severe thunderstorm. So even if it's not tornadic, that amount of wind could certainly take down some trees, which could have power concerns out there. So go ahead and keep things plugged in here as we go through the next couple of hours, and make sure you have a way to receive these alerts in case you lose power on your phone. That would be a good way to get those alerts. Again, as Andrew was mentioning, that new tornado warning is really just a continuation of the older one, but it's now extended out until 6:15 p.m., which now includes parts of Wayne County as it continues to make its way quickly. You mentioned about 50 miles per hour out towards the east. So that is the storm right there, and it's really our southern areas which are seeing right now the potential for the tornadic activity. So we'll go ahead and show you that right now. Those is where we have the warnings out there. We'll put the radar on and we'll zoom on down into that area. It's these two different cells. There's two different thunderstorms which are producing the potential for some more of the warnings out there. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in to both of these right here. Let's see if we can get them both in there. And as we zoom on in, this is the one which appears to be a little bit stronger, and it's right over on the north side of the Alma region. So if you're watching over in the Alma area, this is producing a lot of heavy rain, gusty winds, hail, as Andrew was mentioning. And as far as the velocity goes, let's go ahead and take a look at your couplet. Andrew mentioned it's kind of on the farthest extent of the radar beam. You can see where this purple is. That's kind of really the extent of what the useful data is. Anywhere kind of south of that is good data. It's very close to that, but it's still showing reds and greens right next to each other, and that is a good indication that we are seeing some type of rotation in that area, which could eventually be prompting a tornado at any time. That's why we have the warning in effect for that area. So let's go ahead and track that out for you. Again, as Andrew mentioned, it's racing pretty quickly at about 50 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and change this, because the cone right now is set for 35 miles per hour. But if it's moving faster than that, we're going to have to adjust the time frame. I'm going to do that manually right here, as Andrew has just stepped out. So I will go ahead and make sure that cone is set at 50 miles per hour. And then we can put the cone on there and kind of track it out towards the east. And there we go right there. You see Brentwood by about 6:04 and getting into the Scriven area by about 6:10, and the Broadhurst area as it continues to work its way out towards the west. Let's go move it down a little bit and put another little tracker on there for you. There you go. Scriven by about 6:10, getting into Redland area by about 6:14, the Brentwood area by about 6:04. And this one actually is looking like it has some pretty decent rotation embedded in that area. So if you're watching anywhere here into the kind of on the east side of the Alma area, getting over towards north of the Coffee region, here's Georgia 15. It's going to be getting closer to the Kayville area if you're watching over in there, and even kind of just south of the Surrency area. That's the main area which we're keeping our eyes on as of right now for the southern storm, which has that new warning going through that 6:15 hour for tornado activity. Now again, it did have a potential for some large hail, so we'll go ahead and put the hail tracker on there as we track out that hail. And there could be some very good hail associated with this running through the Alma area, maybe up to about an inch worth of hail south of the Surrency region. But look at the storm, which is actually just to the west of our viewing area. It is producing a lot of hail associated with this, and it's just about to get back into our western regions. Jeff Davis County right now, you're going to be under the gun for that storm, which is going to be moving into your area. But right now, it's generally the two storms which are really going to be keeping our eyes on, which are prompting the warnings right now. At this 5:42 hour, we'll go ahead and reset it and show you what we have as far as the warnings and alerts go. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like, which is now extended to include the Bryan County area. So if you're watching over into the Pembroke region, into the Black Creek area, let's see if we can get this warning to show up right there. There it is, severe thunderstorm warning, which is now going through 6:30 this evening. So about another 45 minutes or so as these storms quickly make their way out towards the generally an easterly direction right now and moving out of the Tattnall County area. So there's a couple more warnings which we have right now. I believe this might actually be a new tornado warning which we have, including the Jeff Davis County area going through 6:15. And I believe that is the storm which is coming in from the west. So let's go ahead and put a radar on there. Yeah, and that'll be that storm again, which has the large hail associated with it. So if you're watching over into the Jeff Davis County area, get ready because another round of some storms are going to be moving back into your area. We'll go ahead and zoom into that region right here. And it's this storm right now, which is to your west, to the north of Ambrose, to the west of the Saps Still area, and it looks like it's going to continue to work over towards the Denton region and maybe even clipping over towards the Hazelhurst area. Let's put a tracker on that for you as it continues to race out towards the east here. And it has hail. Again, that's a very good hail signature right there as it continues to make its way into the, it looks like getting into the Roper area by about 6:08, Hazelhurst 6:14, and the Charlottesville area by about 6:25. So get ready for another round of some stronger to severe thunderstorms, especially this one right there north of Ambrose, which has prompted that new tornado warning for that particular area. Again, the storm right now to the north of the east of the Baxley area, in between Baxley and Surrency, it looks like along 341, that looks to be a little bit weaker. It's the southern one here north of Alma, which is the stronger of the storms for that general area. Again, we showed you the timing of that as it continues to work out towards the Kayville area. But we have that new warning which has prompted severe thunderstorm warning for parts of the Bryan County area. So let's go ahead and take a look at that one right here. And that's for this area right now, which is moving out of the Evans County area and eventually move into parts of Bryan County and maybe extreme southern areas there of Bullock County as well. That severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire for areas into Tattnall County. So let's zoom it on in for that area. And we'll put a tracker on there for you because it's going to continue to move eventually into parts of Effingham County. So if you're watching now into the Guyton area, maybe even over towards the Rincon region, this will be headed into your region. There's the storm right now, and we'll put the track on that, and we'll see if we can extend it out into Effingham County. And we're going to keep it at about 50 miles per hour as it continues to make its way quickly out towards the east-northeast. So there it is, getting into the Black Creek area by about 6:03, Pembroke by about 5:53, Eden 6:10, and even into the Savannah area, especially more on the west side, closer to the Pooler area, looks like by about 6:20 into that 6:30 hour as that line continues to work in from the west. So if you're watching along the coast, it's been pretty quiet this afternoon. The storms are working in, and we want you to make sure you are aware of that. This is going to contain some very strong winds, possibly up to 50 to 60 miles per hour plus, and it could even have some hail associated with this as well. So Pembroke into the Black Creek area, right along 280, it looks like. Get ready for this region, this storm as it moves into your region and even into southern areas here of Effingham County, Guyton, Rincon, into the Eden area. It's going to be moving into your region shortly here. It's moving very quickly, so it's not going to take too much longer. So if you have plans to be heading out there over the next 45 minutes or so into the Savannah area, even Effingham County, even into Jasper and Beaufort County, get it done now because these storms are quickly moving into your region. So there it is. We have the warnings going still. That one warning, the other tornado warning has been allowed to expire for Appling County, at least the northern areas of Appling, but the southern areas of Appling with that storm coming out of Bacon County, that severe thunderstorm warning, oh, I'm sorry, their tornado warning is going, I believe, until the 6:30 hour. Let's go ahead and just make sure that's the newest one, which we had out here. Tornado warning through 6:15, excuse me, till 6:15. So we got another about 25, 30 minutes for that warning to continue to be impacting your area. And then the one behind that, that's the one that's going to be moving into parts of the Jeff Davis County area. That is a very healthy looking thunderstorm right now, which has the potential for seeing some rotation in there. Let's see if we can get that one out there as well as it continues to show. Hopefully we get the warning. There it is, 6:15, that tornado warning, which includes you into areas of the Jeff Davis County region. And there's the severe thunderstorm warning for extreme southern areas of Bullock County, closer to the I-16 area, northern areas of Bryan County, and eventually it's going to move into parts of Effingham County. But right now, that warning goes through. The severe thunderstorm warning goes through that 6:30 hour. So expect a lot of those storms to continue to make its way towards the east. So evening plans today, make sure you're aware of this. We have the chance for more of these stronger thunderstorms because we have another area of some showers and storms working in from the west. And there's still a chance for seeing more of this activity here as the tornado watch goes through that 11 o'clock hour. Check out all the storms working in from the west in the Macon area, crossing over I-75. A lot of lightning associated with these. So the potential is still there. The atmosphere is still ripe for some of these storms to be on the strong to severe side. That's why we do have that tornado watch, which is in effect for our area going through 11 p.m. this evening. We have to wait until that last line makes its way off the coast before we have the all clear, and it should be closer to that 11 p.m. hour as it makes its way off the coast. So we're approaching that 6 o'clock hour, so we got about another 5 hours along the coast. Inland areas will be clearing out first as that line moves through your region. But right now it's severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warning back out to the west with that line. So again, we're not done with it yet. Locally here, 2 storms which are producing tornado warnings in our immediate viewing area, and they're all south of the Altamaha River. So we'll go ahead and show you that on the radar, where those storms are, and we'll put another tracker on there if you're just joining us right now. Those are the severe thunderstorms we're keeping our eyes on. This one just about to move out of Bacon County and about to move into getting closer, it looks like, to the Wayne County area, and then also the one about to move into parts of the Jeff Davis County region. We'll put the one as we zoom on in to the one that's in our viewing area as we speak. So let's go ahead and zoom into this area here. Southern areas now of the Appling County region, and this area north of Bristol, south of 341. So if you're watching in Surrency, heavy rain, you're probably getting a lot of lightning associated with that with some gusty winds. But the main storm is this one right here along Georgia 15, getting into Georgia 121. And this is going to continue to move closer to the Odom area, it looks like, as it races out towards the east at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. So there's the tracker putting it out towards the east. If you're watching over in Jessup, this is going to be moving into your area shortly by about 6:15, Odom 6:04, the Madre Springs area by about 6:09, and even the Doctortown area by about 6:18. This is the tornado warning, which is continuing through 6:30. It's a fast-moving system. We'll put the velocity on, and we'll go ahead and track this one out and see exactly where we're finding the rotation embedded in the storm. And we're going to move it out of the Valdosta radar, and there it is. And it's still showing up very good, a very well-defined circulation out there. Let's see if we can zoom on in a little bit more here and see if we can get any of the streets over in this general region, and especially out ahead of the system. So if you're watching over here into the Surrency, into the Odom area, not picking up as much as in way of any streets out there, but it's getting closer to Georgia 121, and it's right now over Georgia 203, about to cross over Georgia 15. And here's Kayville right now, and you can see Odom in western areas of Wayne County. This right here is extreme southeastern areas of the Appling County area as it moves out of Bacon County, right along Georgia 203. And this is the cell right now, which we're going to continue to track out towards the west fairly quickly. So if you're watching that, tornado warning going through 6:30, you need to be in the lowest level of your home, away from any windows, and a way to get weather information to make sure that you know that it's safe as this continues to work quickly. So it's going to be a while right now. Let's go ahead and make the way up to the north and continue to track up to the next one, which we're watching here. And that's with the next warning here. I want to zoom into this one here a little bit better because this is a little bit more. Do you have more information on something, new information? Okay, we're going to send it over to Andrew first because he's got more of a heads up. But I want to make sure you have a heads up over here with this storm right along the border of Pembroke and into the Liberty County area. Severe thunderstorm warning, but it's got some very broad rotation. We're going to be tracking that one very closely here over the next half hour. Let's send it over to Andrew right now over at the First Alert Weather Center.
Okay, so first off, I want to show you what's going on radar here. We got reports of quarter-size hail over in Daisy. That's over in Evans County. Right now, over on 280, it's a little rough going right now. That's actually where the WTOC storm chaser is right now. If the signal's coming in, we can show you the video of what's going on over in that area. And what we've seen is that this storm, it's packing a punch as it continues to move off toward the east. And that is a live look now over Evans County going through the Daisy area. You can't even see a quarter mile right now. This is out of the WTOC storm chaser. There have been hail reports in that area already. possibly could be getting into that here soon. So this is something that we're watching closely, of course, because the other part of all of this is that, yes, you can have these severe thunderstorms that produce tornadoes, but we also are looking at the threat of hail with this. And this is a rather small storm, just came out of the Claxton area. I'm going to show you the radar once again, so if you live in this area, you know where this is heading. And there's a ton of lightning with this as well. These are coming in real time. So Pembroke, heads up, this is just a strong thunderstorm heading your way. This is south of 16 moving out of Evans County as we speak. So can go ahead and time this one out for you guys here as you get out on your way here this evening. And this is continuing to move off toward the east. Give you a little loop there, make sure we got it going right. And if it stayed on this exact track, this storm that has a history of producing that hail could be in the Black Creek area by about 6 o'clock here in about 7 minutes, Bloomingdale by 6:16, and then making it on the fringes of Pooler as we get closer to 6:21. Will it hold hail for that long? Probably not, but it's still going to be a stronger storm as it moves into the area. So this is what we're looking at right now, one of the stronger storms that is pushing on through here. And just so you guys have a little bit of reference, this is Evans County there where we had that report of hail over near Daisy. And if we have the WTOC storm chaser, I'm going to give you guys another look out in this because you can see the colors on the radar, but this is actually what it looks like underneath those reds, oranges, pinks. Definitely don't want to get out there if you can avoid it here today. It looks like folks are driving safely out there, as is the WTOC storm chaser. And of course, if we get more video for you guys locally of what's going on here, we will pass that along to you. But I want to give you another update back here, show you what's going on here severe thunderstorm wise as this loads on up here for us in the evening. And that is a severe thunderstorm that goes until 6:30. We've been talking about this one here for the past few minutes. That's the one I just timed out for you guys, so you're not missing anything on that. But I'm going to show you exactly which areas this is moving into. Portions of Bryan County, Evans, Liberty, and Bullitt County till 6:30. This could have 60 miles an hour wind with it, wind gusts. It's not going to be sustained, just those bursts of energy. Also with this, it's moving pretty quickly. Right now, the update on how fast it's moving is at 40 miles an hour. So it's moving at a steady pace here, moving out of Evans County, and this eventually is going to move even closer toward the Effingham County area. You guys haven't had a ton of those strong showers, thunderstorms today, but that's going to change as we go here through the evening time frame. So that's the severe thunderstorm that we're looking at here. A broader view shows that in the viewing area, that's the only severe thunderstorm, not counting the tornado warnings right now. So let's take a peek at the update. Looks like they might have trimmed back one of these tornado warnings just a little bit. Bear with us as the computer loads on up here. And we're going to zoom in here. Brentwood, Odom, Jessup, you guys still under this tornado warning that is until 6:15. So we still have about 20 minutes left on this one. And here is the update from the National Weather Service here. It's moving, let's see, east at 45 miles an hour. So we're going to get a new timeout on this here shortly. Tornado possible with this in addition to 2-inch hail. So this is that big hail maker we watched coming out of Coffee County about 30, 45 minutes ago. Of course, mobile homes, they could be damaged with storms like this. Doesn't take much with some hail like that. But locations that focusing on here for us would be the Jessup area and Odom area. That includes 341 if you guys live along that. Now, this is the warning itself. What does it look like on the radar? Well, I will have that for you here in just a second. So this is the radar right now, and we're still seeing the pinks associated with this. So that's where the hail would be right now, south of Surrency along 121, and this is moving along 203 as well. Probably just going to go north of the road 203 and go across 341. Odom, it looks like this circulation along with the hail, you're going to get both with this moving toward Odom here very shortly. So let me time this out. I'm going to change out the mile per hour for us here and give you an accurate reading on the timing of this storm. And there we have it. The latest calculations coming on in here, Brentwood by about 6 o'clock, so it's already on the doorstep. You guys are hearing that thunder from the lightning. Odom would be 6:06, so it's really not too far away here. You want to be taking shelter in this area. This is the tornado warning. Of course, lowest level, inside, safe spot. Make sure you have the helmet, the pillows, the blankets. It might sound goofy, but it will keep you safe from if there is flying debris. Of course, that's our job here, is to keep you safe here. Redland, about 6:12. Major Springs there, 6:14, and then Jessup, this cell, if it held together, would be on the tail end on the other side of when this warning would expire there, 6:21. So let's get the track off there and show you what's going on within the storm. We've got the velocity here. I'm going to try to pull it up from the Charleston radar and see if we've got something good there. And it's actually shown a little bit of a peak there right along 203. So the goal here is to get as close as you can into it. Near the Kayville area, looks like we're going to have some strong wind at the very least moving into this. Now remember, we could have 60-mile-an-hour wind with this storm right now, and I'm going to highlight where I think that is. This is going right across 203. Now where the radar's picking up the strongest wind is actually going right over there. There's Christian Springs Church Road, Clifford Jones Road, Harris Road. This is the area that right now you're probably already hearing the wind pickup of those radars continue to push this through here. Now let me put this in motion for the last 15 minutes, get a good track on what's going on here. And it actually looks like it's pushing a little further off to the south along 203 at this point. So that's the circulation that has prompted this tornado warning. I have not gotten it confirmed that there's a tornado with this, but this is the caution that we're taking right now. And I think it might be a little bit off there. So the circulation is probably a little further off to the north where we're seeing these magentas. Now the hail would be in here as well, just north of 203 and just east of 121. This is the only tornado warning that's in the viewing area or coming on into it right now. Again, Odom, Jessup, you guys are under the gun next from that storm. Another quick look at this storm before I toss it back over to Dave. And this is another storm that we've been looking at. This one goes until 6:15 as well, so we still have 15 minutes with this. This is for Coffee County, Appling, and Jeff Davis. This has not been expired early. This is moving toward Denton, Lay, Hazelhurst, eventually Graham. That's just out of this warning. And this is moving at 40 miles an hour as well. I'm going to give you a quick timeout, and then we're going to pass it on over to Dave, who's got a little bit more information. But this tornado warning, that includes Snipesville 602, Denton at 608, and Hazelhurst just outside of that tornado warning ending at 6:15, at 6:20. But I would definitely still get in my safe spot right now if you're in that area. Dave has a little bit more information for us.
Yeah, and again, we've been watching these storms. It's basically 3 storms which we're keeping our eyes on right now. We're taking a look at that Farrah and Farrah First Alert Live radar, and it's the storm right over the Pembroke area. That's a severe thunderstorm warning, which is about to move in, cross over I-16 and get into southern areas of Bullock County and eventually into Effingham and western areas of Chatham County as well. And then we have tornado warnings down to our south. Andrew was just talking about the stronger thunderstorm here, which has a potential for rotation in there as it's getting into Wayne County, moving out of the Appling County area, and then just about to move into our viewing area. This other tornado warning now moving into parts of the Jeff Davis County area. Those are the storms which are warned. There's a lot other areas which are seeing the rain, but as of right now, those are the 3 areas which we're going to be keeping our eyes on as of right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at the most active part of here and the most potentially dangerous part of the storm, which is going to be the tornadic potential, and that is looking at the velocity right now. Now this is the velocity here, what we're looking at. You can see 3 areas, one to the north over in Pembroke, the other one here right on the border of Wayne County and Appling County, and then there's the third one right in this general area here. Actually 2 of them right there, one near Jacksonville area and the other one here just north of Douglas, about to get into the Jeff Davis County area. We're going to look at this one here first because this is the one that has the warning. So let's go ahead and zoom on in, and that will see if you're watching over into the Odom area, if watching over in Jessup, this storm is going to be making its way closer to your area. So you need to be prepared for very strong gusty winds and the possibility of seeing a tornado move into your area. As you put a track on this, its storm is generally moving more towards the east at about 40 to 45 miles per hour right now. And it's this general area here which is showing the rotation right now kind of north of Georgia 203, south of Brentwood, on the border of Wayne and Appling County. As it continues to make its way generally eastward, it might just move to the south of the Odom area, but getting closer to Jessup, it looks like by about 6:22. Getting into the Doctortown area by about 6:27, it looks like. And again, it's this general area here which is showing some type of rotation in there, which could at any time make its way down to the ground. That's why you need to be prepared. Wayne County right now, south of 341, and it looks like it might even cross northern areas here of Scriven again, if you're heading down along the 84 area, so keep that in mind. This is all working quickly into your region. You see, even by Jessup 622, it's only about another 20 minutes from now as that storm quickly moves into your area. There's probably a lot of hail associated with this as well, especially right in this general region here. If you're north of that, over along 341, watching over in Surrency and Brentwood and the Odom area, you're going to get some gusty winds with some locally heavy rain and also see a lot of that lightning as well. Let's get back over to the other one, which is about to make its way into our viewing area, and that is the one moving into parts of Jeff Davis County right now. So it's further back to the west. It's been active across our southern areas here for the last about 2 hours or so, and as we continue to see that next storm, let's see it right there. There's the Denton area, and it's this region right here that we're watching. So here's the Pridgeton region around 441 north of the Broxton area. This is Georgia 268 right here. This storm is also making its way out towards the east fairly quickly. So we'll put a tracker on that for you. And if you're watching here along 268, getting closer to the Denton and the Lehigh area, this storm will be moving into your area. It is a tornado warned storm. We're seeing rotation in the clouds in this storm right there. So it's getting into Denton, it looks like, by about 6:16, and probably getting in the Lehigh area just before that, maybe about 6:15 or so. So prepare for that storm right now if you're watching anywhere at ahead of that system. Now, I want to mention the other storm we have out there, which is moving into parts of Bryan County right now. So I'm going to track that storm out here for you because it is not warned for anything tornadic as of right now, but it is showing good velocity out there. But we got to put the velocity coming out of Charleston right now to get a little bit better accurate view of what's coming out of that, because again, right now that purple shading here, that's the furthest extent of what the Doppler radar is reaching, as the radar right now, as you see, is coming out of the Valdosta one. We want to put it up towards the Charleston one and get a little bit closer to that, and there you can see a little bit better variety. And again, that purple shows the extent of the Charleston radar. That's where that other area south of that we're coming out of Valdosta, just to let you know. But still the same scenario. Greens is showing winds which are going towards the radar, which is located in Grays, South Carolina. And the reds are showing winds which are going away from the radar. So let's go ahead and zoom on in to this area. It's northern areas of Bryan County right now and extreme southern areas of eventually getting into Effingham County. So if you're watching right now, getting into the Black Creek area, northern areas of Fort Stewart, this is where we're looking at the very gusty winds, probably seeing some hail embedded in here as well. It's moved through the Pembroke area along Georgia 119. So if you're on the west side of Pembroke, you're okay for right now. East side, you're still seeing the heavy rain and the gusty winds. This is going to continue to make its way basically out towards the east. We'll put a little tracker on that for you right now. So if you're watching here, into the Black Creek area, into the Eden area, Pooler, even north towards Garden City, this storm is going to be moving into your area here very shortly. Here's the times for you. Eden, 6:14. It's about another 10 minutes from now. Bloomingdale, 6:21. Pooler at 6:26. And into the Garden City area by about 6:33. And eventually the storm, which it continues to make its way, it will move into parts of the low country as well as we get closer to that 6:45, probably 7 o'clock hour as well. Let's see what it has. Again, as far as the rotation, it's very broad in nature, so we're not seeing anything, a tight, compact reds next to the greens out there, but there is some broad rotation associated with that as well, so that's why we're going to keep our eyes on it. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning. We'll put the alerts on here for you for that storm, so expect to see some hail associated with that into the Black Creek area, into the Eden region, maybe even over towards the Bloomingdale and Pooler region, and again, as it gets closer towards that 6:20, 6:30 time frame. So there's the warning associated with that. We have the other warnings which are tornadic for those storms down to our south and southwest. Those are the two areas here outlined in, or highlighted, I should say, in the darker red. So getting into Wayne County, also moving into parts of Jeff Davis County. Those are the strongest storms which we're keeping our eyes on. As long as we have our tornado warning in effect for our area, we will be making sure that we are live here on WTOC to make sure you are safe. That one warning going into Wayne County now goes through 6:15, so that's in effect for about another 9 to 10 minutes. We'll see if it's extended into Wayne County, maybe even possibly into Long County as well. The storm behind that getting into northern Coffee and parts of most of Jeff Davis County. That also goes through that 6:15 hour, and that has a lot of hail associated with it as well. Let's show you what we're looking at as far as the hail goes. We'll put the track on that. And the storms which are producing the greater chance for seeing the hail right now is that storm into the Black Creek area. We're talking about maybe 1-inch hail briefly as it moves through your region into Pembroke, Black Creek. Again, eventually it's going to move into the southern areas of Guyton, into the Eden area, and then right down I-16, Bloomingdale into the Pooler region. And then that storm getting into the Odin area as well has the potential for producing some more of that hail. So these are going to be big hail makers, very gusty winds, and the potential for seeing some rotation in these storms cannot be ruled out as well. Rotation is looked at through velocity. We'll go ahead and look at the velocities out there, especially the storms which are under the warnings, and that's our southern areas right now. And those are the two areas showing up with the red and the greens right next to each other. Also just west of our viewing area, another region just south of the McRae area, which is showing up, having some broad rotation out there as well. So it's going to be active here the next couple of hours, where hopefully you have a way to get this weather information if you're not watching here on WTOC, or if you know somebody who is in the path of these storms, make sure you're alerting them to tune into the TV or have a way to get those weather alerts right now as we take a look at the warnings right now into parts of Wayne County especially. We'll go ahead and zoom on in and put a tracker on there for you. We're going to track it out a little bit further as well to include even parts of the Long County area, as that storm will eventually make its way into that region. The storm is working its way eastward. It might clip maybe southern areas here of Long County, but again, it's more of an eastward motion of the storm. So it's going to move right across, it looks like here, into the Jessup area, and then maybe clip southern areas here of the Long County area. So if you're watching over into the Pendarvis region, it looks like about 634, Jessup 621, the San Sevilla area 643, and eventually into Townsend at 652, getting in to the McIntosh County area. Again, that storm is tornadic as far as the warning we have out there. There is rotation, which we're seeing right now south of 341, north of the Scriven area, which will continue to make its way out towards the east at about 40 miles per hour. So again, that is out ahead of it. If you're watching, or if you know anybody who lives in that area, make sure they are aware of that potential of that storm moving into that area, which is still warned as of right now through 6:15. Again, we'll see if the National Weather Service actually extends that warning for that area. So the other one we're watching is this one back over here. Let's go ahead and zoom on to that area. It's into Jeff Davis County right now. And we're going to also extend a little bit further out because that storm is moving quickly, generally out towards the east. So we'll put a tracker on this as well. It's right now about to be crossing over US 221, right over the Denton area. So if you're watching in Denton, you need to be in the lowest level of your home, away from any windows, really having as many walls in between you and the outside as possible, because that tornado warning continues through 6:15, and we're still seeing a good signature of some rotation. Now the storm is working out towards the east, so Baxley, you've been active today. Watch out, another area of this storm is moving into your region. So if you're watching in Baxley by about 6:40, that's about another 25 minutes to a half hour from now. Surrency getting into that 6:52 hour. So you're under the gun right now with that storm over in Odin and Surrency, but the other one is going to be moving in right behind it as well. So if you're watching here, this is the area which you're going to be concerned about as we go through the next half hour to 45 minutes as that storm continues to race out towards the east at about 40 miles per hour. So let's put it back in here. We're approaching that 6:15 hour when those warnings are set to expire. The National Weather Service is the one who puts out the warnings right now, and we'll put on the alerts to see what we have going on out here. Do you have something new?
Yeah, you'll see here in a second there's a new severe thunderstorm warning right there over Baxley.
Okay, and that will be the continuation of that storm. Andrew's going to talk more about that coming up here right now as we toss it over to the First Alert Weather Center.
Okay, so still active out there, of course, right now. What we're looking at is still those 2 tornado warnings. Those will hopefully be allowed to expire. If not, of course, we're going to stay with you, keep you guys safe. First off, going to give you that one that's most into the viewing area. If you've been listening to Dave, of course, he's been telling you all about it. This is set to expire here within the next few minutes. They have not indicated with the National Weather Service if they're going to hold on to that yet or not. But either way, what we're looking at here is the potential for some large hail over just north of Jessup as well. So that is that. This is what we're looking at here. The radar right now showing that large hail near the Odom area going north of Jessup across 341. Eventually that's going to go over 169 and toward the Little Whiskey area, eventually towards Hinesville as well. So this is one storm here. Again, only a few minutes left on this tornado warning that still has that broad rotation with it. But the more important thing right now is if there's no confirmed tornado, is warning you guys out ahead of it, knowing that this potentially damaging storm is heading your way. So 615 right on the doorstep of Jessup, and actually downtown Jessup. This is going to be a little bit to your north. Doctortown, they're coming your way. Little Whiskey, Walter Hourville, as well as Midway, but it's going to take a little while to get there. This storm particularly is moving at about, say, 40 miles an hour. So that storm right there, we're going to hold on to that for a few minutes, see, yeah, they're just talking about hail right now. So that's what we see as well. I wanted to give you some information on the newest severe thunderstorm warning, and sometimes this is a good sign because when you see a severe thunderstorm warning coming out of a tornado warning, that likely means that they're not going to reissue another tornado warning on that, or else they would have done that instead of a severe thunderstorm warning. Not that that won't be the case, and it could get a little bit more action going with it. But this Baxley, again, Dave was just saying, hey, you guys have had an active afternoon, and that's going to continue here at least through 6:45 as this thunderstorm moves your way. This one moving east at 45 miles an hour, hazard with that 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So there's not any big hail with this one. You could still get a little bit of hail with this. But let's time it out for this new warning that just came in here for severe thunderstorm. And this is the same storm that did have that tornado warning with it. I'm just focusing on the extension of the severe thunderstorm aspect of it. So this is what we have here. Hazelhurst 620, Graham 621, at 634 to be in the Baxley area, 634 as well as Spring Branch, and then McTire there 642. So that is the new severe thunderstorm warning, an extension of the tornado warning that is over the Denton area right now. Now there have been reports of damage coming in some areas, and I don't know if it's possible to take the downtown Skycam because we just saw a big flash of lightning there. We can hear the thunder. There it is. This is looking out over Savannah, of course. That's the Savannah River, and we just had a big flash of lightning there. So that storm, and I'm going to show it to you on radar here soon, is heading our way, and this is not the tornado warned portion of this, but it is a severe thunderstorm, and it's actually getting on the fringes of Pooler. So since this is going to impact some folks here, let's go ahead and show you what's going on here. This severe thunderstorm going until 6:30. Let's take it back over to the radar, and I'll show you what you're looking at there. Of course, the cloudy conditions looking off toward the west. So we were looking at all the clouds here under the yellows, oranges, and reds, which is moving toward the Savannah metro area right now. Some more lightning, probably some more thunder coming your way here. That's a good shot there of the camera showing up as well. So Savannah starting to get some heavier rain move on in here. Pooler, you're already getting it across 80 Bloomingdale. And this is a severe thunderstorm that goes until 6:30. Now with this one, it's moving at, let's see, what does it say here? 40 miles an hour. So these things are trending downward a little bit here lately. I want to zoom in close on where we're getting the heaviest of this. I actually think that some of the heavier rain with this storm actually moving outside of where that severe thunderstorm warning is. So it'll be interesting to see if the Weather Service keeps with this or not. But this is where I have this bout of heavy rain that is a severe thunderstorm right now. Moving into the Bloomingdale area pretty much now, depending on where you live, especially west side of town. And then Pooler soon after there, about 5 minutes after, Garden City 6:33, the Alabama Junction area 6:37, and then finally moving into Savannah itself, maybe just north of it at about 6:40. Again, that is a severe thunderstorm and not a tornado. There's another flash of lightning that just occurred with that. Also wanted to give you an update now of the tornado warning that we've been following here. And here we have it, Odom to Jessup. That's still where we're looking at right now. This may have been trimmed down just a little bit, which is good news, but not for the folks that are still dealing with it. Now, this is now just including central Wayne County here, Jessup to Odom. And it's moving at 45 miles an hour still looking at that hazard of a potential tornado with this, in addition to hail, of course, 2 inches in diameter. We're holding with that. So this storm has a very strong updraft. It can support those hailstorms before they fall, and that's not as good a news for folks that are on the ground. So if you're on 341, 169 there, it looks like the worst of this is going to go just north of the Jessup area. And we just got an update from that radar scan coming in here. The Doctortown area, you can see it updating there in real time. This is a good time to do another timeout. And where you see this little bowing is where you're going to have the leading edge of those strongest winds. Now, very shortly, this is going to be moving out of the area that's under the tornado warning. So National Weather Service will have to make a decision within the next 10 minutes or so of if this is going to continue to be a tornado warning. But either way, this is what we're looking at here. Treat this as a tornado warning. Get in shelter right now over in Wayne County. This includes folks that are over in the Ludowici area, Walter Howardville. This cell that is very strong, producing a lot of lightning as well, is heading your way. Right over 169 right now, pushing off to the east at 45 miles an hour. Might as well go ahead here, zoom in, get as close as I can, show you where we've got some more folks that are going to be impacted by this. Now, it is a bit of a rural area, but this is going across 25, 341 Redland area just off to the north of Jessup, Doctortown. Now, some of the areas that it's going to be moving into after that, doesn't look like we're picking much up here. 38 is one of the roads, 25 as well. If you live off of those in those communities, keep that in mind. Now, the cell that you're looking at here on the radar behind me is not the same one that you're looking at over on the other side of your screen, showing that storm moving into the Savannah area. Now, that is a severe storm. It's not set to be severe as it moves into Savannah itself, but I'm going to go ahead and show those warnings for you because you can see there's just a very small portion of that cell that is warned. This is the cell that we're looking at right here, where you see the yellow box. That's what you see reflected over in your screen. Now, this storm is gone now, so it just went away. So we'll have to see if that becomes severe again. And there it is. It's just going up and down. But anyway, severe thunderstorm 630 is where that is. So that's what we're looking at right there. And I'm going to go ahead and time this out one more time for us because this is moving into the Chatham County area. And where that severe thunderstorm actually is, this box right here, the strongest storm of that, it's actually already out of it. So if you live in Black Creek over in Pembroke, you're doing okay right now. But heavy rain, lightning, thunder, winds picking up probably to 30, 40 miles an hour, moving into Pooler, going toward the airport, Garden City. You can see the lightning right there going on your screen, into Savannah as well. So you want to get inside. You don't want to be on the roads for this. We're going to keep you updated on this here shortly. Dave has a little bit more information for us.
Yeah, and we were just tracking that one out there, which you're looking at into parts of Chatham County right now. It's moving out of the Bryan County area, and now we can see the lightning as we had you showing you in boxes out there from the downtown Savannah area. The storm is moving into the Savannah region. We talked about that, timing it out, and it's got some very gusty winds associated with it, but it's not warned as far as anything tornadic. So I want to start out with the latest tornado warning, which we still have, and that's the one, as Andrew has been mentioning, down here into Wayne County right now. So we'll start with that and then make our way up to the north. So we'll look at the velocity right here because this was showing a pretty good signature still of some velocity out there as it continues to move right across southern area or central areas here, and now more than northern areas of Wayne County. We'll go ahead and zoom on into that region and put a tracker on that for you as we zoom on in. And this has been a tornado warned storm for quite some time right now. So if you're watching over here as it moved into the Odom area, now it's right over the city of Jessup, it looks like, as it continues to make its way out towards the east-northeast fairly quickly. Expect some strong gusty winds associated with this and the potential for seeing a lot of hail and lightning associated with this area as well as it's crossing over the 341 area right now. 301 area, I should say, as it works in here from to the east. So right now, the only city that's showing up is over towards Doctortown within the next 5 minutes. So it's already basically moving into your area. You're going to see the thunder, hear the lightning, hear the thunder, see the lightning. We'll put that correctly there as the storm continues to make its way out towards the east. Now, it's still a tornado warned storm as we go through that 6:30 hours. So we're going to keep you updated on this. You want to make sure that you're in the lowest level of your home, away from any windows, with a way to get weather information to make sure you know this storm has passed your area as it continues to make its way north now. It looks like of 25, US 25 and Georgia 27, moving right over the city of Jessup. That is the only tornado warning which we have locally here, but I want to get back up here into the area which was into parts of Chatham County, getting right into the Savannah Metro. Now, what we have is a severe thunderstorm warning. We'll put the alerts on just to make sure that it is still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that area. Now, see that warning has been the new tornado warning. The tornado warning is now going to become a severe thunderstorm warning as that storm continues to move out. It looks like traveling more towards the east-northeast here into southern areas of Long County and into the I-95 area in Wayne, into Liberty County near Midway, over into that area as it crosses closer to that region. That's that new severe thunderstorm warning, which we have just in from the National Weather Service coming out of the Charleston office, and that goes through 7:15. So it's 6:22 right now. So it's in effect here for about the next 45, 50 minutes or so. The area which we're going to watch right now is zooming on into parts of Chatham County, because I want to show you the radar as we zoom on into this area here. Very heavy rainfall. We're getting a lot of lightning with that, and there could even be some hail embedded with that system as well as we zoom in to this region. And there it is. Here's I-16 getting into Pooler right now. It's passing kind of just south of Guyton, Eden, Rankin along 21. You're getting some of the rain showers, but this heaviest activity is now moving right south of the I-16 area. So it's probably going to be crossing over into the Savannah Quarters region if you're watching over in that area, into the Bloomingdale region. And I want to put the velocity on there just to show you some of the winds associated with this. Right now, as of last check, it is not tornadic, but we're going to be coming out of Charleston with this one as it's closer to the radar here. It's got some very broad rotation in here as it continues to race out into the Pooler area. We'll put a tracker on this one for you as well. And it's going to contain some very heavy rain. So if you're heading out there right now or watching here into the Savannah region, you're seeing the lightning out there and really hearing the thunder as it continues to make its way out towards the east-northeast here. So Savannah area getting in there, even the downtown Savannah area, watch out for this system moving in very closely the next 15, 20 minutes. Garden City, 6:37, it's already moving into the Pooler region and into the Whitmarsh Island area by about 6:50, and then eventually it's going to head on up into the low country. That is a severe thunderstorm warning, as it could contain some strong gusty winds and the possibility of seeing some hail in there as well. Let's see if it has the hail threat in there. We'll put the hail tracker on here and show you, yeah, there's probably a good track of some hail moving right into the Pooler area. That's going to head up towards northern Garden City, into the Port Wentworth region. If you're watching there, over near the Tanger Outlet, we'll probably get a good view. If we can see that, if you can eventually pull up our Vaden Chevrolet Pooler Skycam, I'm sure that would be a great view to show you the rain moving back into that area with maybe some hail. If you're watching in the back there, we can pull up that Skycam to get a good position out there. You can see the heavier rain, see the lightning strikes out there as well, and there's going to be a lot of that lightning, so travel is going to be slow going, moving through that area into the Pooler region, the Bloomingdale area. As we switch back over to the graphics right now, that area could even be seeing some hail embedded in that region as well as it continues to race out towards the east-northeast here. So let's put it back and we'll kind of reset ourselves here. The strongest storm is now really the one moving into Chatham County right now. We have that severe thunderstorm warning associated with that. Very gusty winds associated with that area. We have that new severe thunderstorm warning for the area moving into Long County and eventually going to move into coastal areas there of the Liberty County area as well. Now, I want to let you know that we are on air continuous coverage while anytime we have a tornado warning into our area. And the reason what we're on right now is for this cell into Wayne County. But I can tell you that with that new severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of that system, well, we're looking at that storm, according to the National Weather Service, I should say, it may be weakening just a bit. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. The problem with this storm is it's right on the border of where the radar is coming out of Charleston and also coming out of the Valdosta area. Those are the two radars that we're using. You see that purple stripe right there? That's the kind of the northern extent of where we get reliable data coming out of the Valdosta radar, and it's getting closer to that region. And that's about where the Charleston radar cuts off coming out of the Grays, South Carolina area. So we're going to be watching this one. But again, the warning extends now into Long County. So if you're watching here into the Ludowici area, we're still seeing that rotation. You can see it right over the Jessup area. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit further. If we can zoom in. Now we can try it again. We'll zoom in a little bit further into that area to try to go down to street level to see who is really seeing a lot of the activity in that area. And let's see if we can zoom on in. There we go. And we'll get rid of that for you. So if we're rating over here, here's the Doctortown area. This is coming along into the Ludowici area. This region here is seeing that broad rotation, which is continuing to work closer to Georgia 57 and kind of moving now to the south and east of the Ludowici area. We just got an update on the radar scan right now, and it's still showing, again, broad rotation in there, not very tight, compact couplet. So that's why the severe thunderstorm has been issued as opposed to a new tornado warning. So we're thinking at that 6:30 hour that warning might be allowed to expire for Wayne County, but we're going to keep that severe thunderstorm warning for the Long County area going through 7:15, I believe. Let's go ahead and reset that for you and show you that there's the activity which is going to be moving into the area for the warnings right now into the Long County area. So if you're watching over mainly on the south of the Ludowici, south and east of Ludowici, and eventually moving into parts of the coastal areas here of Liberty County, closer to Interstate 95, near the Midway region, that is a better chance for seeing that storm. Now, we also have the other one getting back into the Baxley area. It did have a tornado warning associated with it, but right now it is a severe thunderstorm warning. So I think once this warning is dropped, we're going to hopefully at 6:30 start with the news coming up at 6:30, and we'll get into some news. If we have any more warnings, or certainly we'll be with you right here with more updates on that. But as of right now, these are the warnings which we have. We'll go ahead and look at it for you. Still for Bryan County, that goes through 6:30. That's probably going to be extended. You'll probably see a new warning coming out any minute now for parts of Chatham County, maybe even parts of Effingham, and maybe even up in the Low Country as well. We'll see how far they extend that warning, which will be, again, that expires at 6:30. So expect that coming up any minute. The newest severe thunderstorm warning we have is for Liberty County into Long County and extreme northwestern areas there of McIntosh County going through 7:15. The same storm which prompted the tornado warning is the reason for that severe thunderstorm warning. So we're expecting this storm to be weakening. That warning will be allowed to expire, I would assume, for the Wayne County area. But we also have the other severe thunderstorm warning for the Baxley region. That is going to continue right now. That's going through that 6:45 hour. So there's a lot of activity still coming up here as we continue to watch this line of some storms working in from the west, and the whole area is still under that tornado watch going through the 11 p.m. hour. So it's going to be a little bit active out here as we go through the next couple of hours. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar right now, and let's put it in a loop. I'm going to put it in a loop over the last hour and show you the motion of these storms as it continues to work quickly. There is that storm right now. Again, it's moving out of Wayne County, so that tornado warning will be allowed to expire, and we have that new severe thunderstorm warning for that same storm as it continues to move kind of just to the east and south of Ludowici, and that'll be heading up towards Interstate 95 into the Liberty County area. Then we have that other storm which had a tornado warning earlier, but now that is a severe thunderstorm warning as it's getting right over towards the Baxley area. So let's see, we have the new watch coming up here, tornado watch in effect until 8 o'clock. What was that new watch they had until 8 o'clock? Well, we'll get an update on that. Let's go back over and see if they updated that. The warning here has been allowed to expire for the Savannah area. We don't have a new warning for Chatham County as of right now, but we do not have any tornado warnings in effect. So again, as of right now, we said we'd be on air live until we had tornado warnings. We do not have any tornado warnings in effect. So I believe we're going to go ahead and send it back over to Andrew right now. He's going to kind of wrap things up as we get ready to have the news coming up here at 6:30. Andrew?
Right, so we still have a couple of those stronger storms out there. Of course, if they do become tornadic, we're definitely going to come back on air and if we need to. But the good news as of right now, those tornado warnings as of just after 6:30, they are done. And we're going to have a really quick break here, and then we're going to come back, get you to some news. The news at 6:30 begins in just about a minute.
Been this area's fastest and most efficient repair shop. We'll get your car in and out quickly with a job done right the first time. Our work is guaranteed and we'll handle all the insurance. Call 356-5880.
Did you know an 18-wheeler traveling at 55 miles per hour takes 2 football fields to stop? Imagine the devastation upon crashing into a car. If you're involved in an accident with a big rig, your future may become uncertain. Ongoing medical bills and an inability to work puts you and your family at risk. You need experienced truck accident attorneys that will get you the compensation you deserve. The
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for the news at 6:30. As you know, those storms are moving into the coastal empire and low country that could potentially cause severe weather. Now we're taking a live look at the radar right now, showing the line of storms moving our way. Now we do have team coverage with our First Alert weather team and the WTOC First Alert storm chaser out driving around, giving us a live look. But first, we're going to send it back over to Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley for the latest.
Yeah, thankfully we're looking at a little bit quiet.